The Spanish announce table.
We are sitting on the 350th episode of the Spanish announce table. It's me, Tom, and Don here. Gosh, Tom, 350 episodes, and here we are, the podcast of the people, the voice of the voiceless. More on that later. It's the Spanish announce table 2.0.
Of course. Everything's 2.0 right now. Even 2.0, who was in the main event of Dynamite. But we'll get to that later.
Doesn't matter that we're on our 7.9th iteration. This is Spanish Announce Table 2.0.
Don't let the details get in the way of a good story.
2.0.
Okay? Hey, so before we get
We should have added more color, Tom.
It'll happen. Hey, we got a guy in a pink suit.
Pink.
Hey.
And you got orange? Purple?
Orange?
We did it.
Yeah.
We fucking did it.
We got enough. Hey, so before we get into our Tweet the Tables, which, again, we love to hear from our fans and listeners and contributors, we got to do our MJF coin update. What are we at? Are we going to the moon?
We are going to the moon because we are up 5% this week, down 68% overall, but that's a 2% gain on that number from last week. So, again, everything on the up and up to the moon. Thanks, MJF. You're better than us, and we know it, and you're going to make us rich. I still believe that. I still have faith.
Oh, yeah, so do I. I cannot wait for the long game. That is where it's at. Got my eye on a couple cars again, so I'm ready to go. MJF to the moon.
What cars?
I'm
excited about that. All of them?
You know,
all right.
I have my eye on all of them.
I mean, I only asked this question because I might be stalling while I tweet out that we're live. You know what I'm saying? I mean, just hypothetically, maybe that's what I'm doing.
Hypothetically. Well, then, hey, let me tell you, while you are stalling really quick, I got the opportunity, non-pro wrestling related, to go to Bill Burr last night. And, oh, my God, if you get a chance to see Bill Burr, you should do it. He is the king. He performed in front of what felt like 5,000 people at the Starlight Theater. Very entertaining, very fun. Get your money's worth. Great act to see. If he comes to your town, make sure to see it. I saw him last night. And then also, a little bit of housekeeping that we should address. And we didn't talk about this before, so we might as well just do it on air because that's what we do for our listeners and fans. I'm going on vacation this week. I'm going to Philadelphia and Boston for 3 days each city. So I won't be able to record next week. And, man, what a week am I missing? Huh?
You are missing a week, yeah. And I don't know what we're going to do here. I'm going to maybe get a guest host. Maybe just, if nobody wants to come hang out with me, I'll solo it. You know, I'll see if I got any friends.
Maybe I'll call in for 10 minutes or so. Who knows?
Ooh, you should send a video update from where you're at, and I'll include it. Like, just record a little cell phone. You know, whatever 3-star motel you've booked yourself up there in Philadelphia or Boston there. 4-star, of course.
The MJF coin has easily got me into a 5-star.
I forgot. You're going to be in a 6-star.
Yeah. Yeah. It's the Dave
I'm surprised MJF isn't giving you his one of his houses in each of those cities.
You don't know that he isn't. So let's talk about. So there's a little bit of housekeeping.
I don't know that. You're right.
There's a little bit of housekeeping for next week. Also, with that being said, I'm going to try to do an instant reaction to AEW Rampage. Tweet the table and let me know if you guys are enjoying those. I have got some mixed reactions as far as if there's nothing really going on, what's there to react to. For example, last week's Rampage was kind of in the middle. Not bad, but nothing crazy happened. So do you guys want me to do that each and every week, or do you want me to do it when Bray Wyatt debuts for AEW or whatever the crazy thing that happens is? So hashtag tweet the table. Let us know on that kind of feedback. But with that being said, let's get into tweet the tables if you're ready.
Oh, I am ready because, hey, I'm always ready for the people, Tom. Right? The people is what matters. We like to give a voice to the voiceless. Since CM Punk said he wanted to retire the name, I'll let you know that means that he abandoned you. Well, we're not one to do that. We will not abandon you. Well, we will not abandon you. That's why we are 350 episodes deep in your ear holes right here on the Spanish announce table. That got weird. Maybe I shouldn't use that tagline anymore.
No, I like it. Yeah. No. Ear holes.
350 episodes deep in your ear holes. Yeah, that's what we are. And we are the voice of the voiceless. We are the podcast of the people because everybody else is going to come swinging out the gate, giving you their hot takes and their opinions. And you know what? You probably don't give a shit. if I had to be frank, you have some thoughts and opinions, and we're going to give voice to that. We do that by using hashtag Tweet the Table on Twitter. You can follow us. All the links are at SpanishAnnounceTable.net. You can also donate to the show on there and become the beer sponsor of the week. This week's beer sponsor of the week is our goddamn selves once again. So Tom's probably drinking water.
Yep.
I've got some beer here.
Here it is.
This could be beer that you paid for, and we would tell everybody something great about you or promote your business or whatever. But, hey, SpanishAnnounceTable.net. But the important part is Twitter, hashtag Tweet the Table. You use that. Tell us what you thought about whatever you're watching wrestling at that moment or thinking about, and we'll read it right here, and we're going to do that right now, starting off with that. Katie, the first lady, she says it's amazing to me how Adam Cole was a part of the last NXT TakeOver main event mere weeks ago, and yet he's here on Dynamite like he's been here the whole time. Hashtag Tweet the Table. Adam Cole, baby. I love the baby in the crowd. Mm-hmm. Love it.
Yeah. I mean, he has some familiarity with the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, so I think that sense of will I fit in has obviously gone away. Another thing to consider is, yes, to Katie's point, he was a part of the last NXT TakeOver. Daniel Bryan was in the main event of this year's WrestleMania and is going to be a part of next week's biggest match of the year, possibly with Kenny Omega. So, I mean, think about how crazy of a journey he's gone through this year. Incredible for just a wacky, weird world of pro wrestling. It's wonderful, and right now it's wonderful. Sometimes it's horrible, but we are just 2021. I tell you what, we are just hitting home runs all across the board. But Adam Cole, here's my hot take. You want to hear my hot take real quick?
Oh yeah.
And I have no reason to I have no evidence for this hot take. I just feel like this is what we're going to do. I think the ultimate heel out of the Elite is going to be Adam Cole. I think Adam Cole breaks up the Elite. I think somehow he figures out a way, because they killed him on BTE. He's going to fuck him over, and then he's going to be the guy.
What if he's the ultimate face and he helps Hangman do it?
Ooh, no.
Because he's like, hey, the enemy of my enemy, right?
No, because that's maybe where Kenny Omega and Hangman reunite. They realize they were good friends. I don't know, but I think that's my hot take. I think Adam Cole's breaking up the Elite possibly by the end of the year. That's just my guess.
Okay.
No, just a hunch.
All right. Let me get Katie out of the way. By the way, follow all these folks on Twitter that we're talking about, right?
They're great.
If you're not watching, we do this YouTube live thing, so that's where you can see their actual Twitter handles and all that stuff. If you're just listening on the podcast, you don't get the full experience. You know what I mean?
Come on,
shame on you. Shout out Dak Draper at BDD4 says, your heel promo is hot fire when you got the crowd chanting, "Shut the fuck up." Way to go, MJ motherfucking F. AEW, hashtag Tweet the Table. Yeah, and they prolonged "shut the fuck up." Shut the fuck up. That was so fun. I love it.
And then he just says, no.
No.
I just
yeah, that was like, why would I do that? Assholes.
These promos are fantastic, and I love it. And I do feel, even though when we went back to, watch a GCW match where Matt Cardona became the heavyweight champion and it felt like maybe there was going to be a riot, I still feel like the fans are in on the kayfabe, right?
Oh, right, with MJF.
Well, yeah, just with pro wrestling in a whole.
Oh, yeah.
As a whole. In GCW,
and specifically mostly with places like AEW, I think, too.
AEW, GCW, those places, right? Yeah. However, look, man, MJF, when you're calling someone's mother Methany over and over, and then you're looking down at hell, insinuating that his father went to hell, I'm just saying, if there's a real broken nose and Brian Pillman ends up breaking the face of MJF, I'm not going to be shocked. And you know what? I'm not going to be that sad either. It's just, look, we had Max Caster kind of push the lines with the Duke stuff, all of that about Julia Hart. I love it. I love it because I'm sitting in a comfortable chair watching on television. There's no, you can say whatever the hell you want, right? I always say, if we're telling the story of Jesus, someone has to play the devil. Might as well be you, MJF, right? Totally cool with it. I'm just saying, hey man, you gotta see these people off camera. So like that's the part where I'm just like, how are they on a Thursday morning? Are they friendly? Are they driving together? I don't know. That's pretty bad.
Yeah, you guys hopping in. Yeah, you were making the next town. Are you doing that? What was that show on the network that they did? I like the show, but where they would get in the car together.
Oh,
and they
road
would
trip or
yeah,
something?
yeah. Like, are you doing an episode of that right after this? Because you might want to. You're gonna have to pick up the snacks. MJF, right? Like the gas is on you, brother.
Yeah.
Right? Like, come on, man.
But
yeah.
again, MJF, a commitment to his character. I even saw. You want to talk about some real heat. Now, the gentleman in this video knew what he was going into, but it was a handicapped gentleman going up to an MJF meet and greet, and MJF is sitting there signing something, and the fan goes, "Hey, how are you?" And he goes, "Well, better than you." And then the fan is like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, watch this." And he gets up from his chair, and he's like, "Huh? How about that?" And sits back down, and then the guy's like acting like he can do it. He goes like, "Oh, well then let's try this. Let's play a game of horse." And he gets up and he hops, and it's like, motherfucker, like what in the hell are you doing? But that's him 24/7. So credit to him for staying committed to the character. I don't know if I have the guts enough to do that. I couldn't do it. I don't think I could do it, but he can.
He's flipping off kids at photo signings, dude. MJF lives it.
Let's not also forget that the tribute show to Brody Lee, MJF is getting in the face of -1.
Yeah. God, he's
And
so
that
good.
that was like the week of. That wasn't like,
To me,
hey,
MJF needs like an award, like whatever the date. What is it? The Emmys for the TVs.
Yeah.
Like he deserves an award. Like he's so good.
the Tonys, if you want to say it's live theater, give him a Tony, whatever it is. But yeah, his commitment to
Both.
the character is
Motherfucker needs
fantastic.
both.
Yeah.
He needs some of the both. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. By the
Well,
way,
give him an EGOT because he can sing. Remember, we heard him do that Jericho dinner Debier or whatever the fuck it was called. So yeah, give him an EGOT. Give him all the fucking awards. What were we saying though?
you should follow us on Twitter is what I was saying. Hashtag tweet the table. Shout out to @RazorRSuperstar says, love you guys. He last minute, I mean, as we started live, went with a tweet the table. And Tom, because I'm so good at this production stuff, I got it in the queue, and we're going to respond to @RazorRSuperstar live as it happened, Tom. Listen to it. Look at this, man. This is how good we are now, 350 episodes deep in your ear holes. God, I said it again. I said it again. I said I wasn't supposed to say it again. Well, yeah, you want to pull him up now? I moved him in the queue here somewhere. Let me just pull it on up then, because this one's going to be fun, Tom.
All right, let's hear it.
He says, hashtag tweet the table. Need an update on your Abaddon situation, please, @table show. So, Tom, yeah, well, how's your Abaddon situation going? You have an Abaddon situation.
I'm so conflicted, right? Because like, man, right? But then
Yeah, right.
it's not
Yeah.
good.
Isn't
You
that-
know? Like, but it is, but it's not. I mean, come on. You see her crawling around? Oh my goodness.
Got the Luna Vachon haircut going.
Oh, got the blood coming from her lips, but somehow I love it. I love it. I want her.
It moves,
more
huh?
on.
It moves.
I tell you what. What did I say last time? I was scared and my nipples were hard. It's just one of those things, man. She does it for me. She does. I love her. I love her. I need her as my champ. I need Abaddon to go after Britt Baker. That's what I need. I need her to become the boogie woman in the AEW women's division. I need
Boogie
her,
woman.
Yeah. I need her
Hashtag
on-
Boogie Woman. Come on.
Yeah.
Oh, she should call herself the Boogie Woman.
No,
Abaddon. No, yeah.
Abaddon's good.
Yeah.
They should refer to her as the boogie woman. But
Once you go through the run of Abaddon doing the Abaddon stuff and it gets tired and she's got to switch it up, then you go comedy
Boogie.
and you go Boogie Woman.
But man,
Boo.
she is so crazy. I'm not kidding you. There's a handful of wrestlers that are appointment viewing for me. Max Caster and his raps are one. Eddie Kingston, Darby Allin, Kenny Omega, Britt Baker's promos, and I'm not kidding you. Abaddon. I love the whole thing. It intrigues me. I'm in it. I'm into it. I love it.
Look at that. There's benefits to being our fan. See, we just gave voice to Razor R Superstar because we are the voice of the voiceless. CM Punk says he doesn't want to do that for you anymore. Says he doesn't care. he's on to focus on himself, but we are here for you. We're the podcast of the people. And up next is at Devil Vamp says, finally, Big E is the new WWE champion. Hashtag WWE Raw. Hashtag tweet the table. And Tom also at AUC Kata says Big E wins the WWE Championship, and there wasn't a single match that ended in a shitty DQ. By default, that already makes it one of, if not the best, Raws of the year in my book. Hashtag tweet the table. Yeah, well, we can discuss. I mean, yeah, maybe it's the best Raw of the year, but the bar is decidedly low.
I would like your opinion first on the Big E. Whatever, just go ahead. I gotta still formulate my thoughts because I'm so mad.
There's no story. Like, I know we love when we get like hey, everybody wants this guy to be something, right? We love that with Mick Foley, and they did that with Mick Foley. However, it also accompanied a storyline that like was really cool and drawn out and thought out and intricate. So like, I mean, as intricate as you're going to get in 90s wrestling.
Right.
But there's just nothing here. Like, he says, like, I'm going to show up, and I get it. And, like, yes, he performs it well. Like, he's standing in the background fucking with folks like, hey, man, your night's about to go shitty. Like, I love that. But, like, it would have been better if, like, this was, like, the crescendo of doing that to somebody, right? And it's just, like, finally here, right? Like, if he would have said this, like, a month ago and kept showing up and built to this, maybe. But and I just don't.
It's the definition of WWE to me.
Yeah.
In this modern era and, the 2020s right now, right? Because you had the fucking story developed probably on accident and you didn't even go with it. You had Bobby Lashley beat the shit out of Xavier Woods. Then you had Bobby Lashley decimate Kofi Kingston. Big E, the third New Day member, could have easily said, I'm cashing in because I'm taking out Bobby Lashley for him beating up my friends. That's the story. Instead, you just said, LOL, what? Look at this. I'm going to do this tonight, I guess. Like, that's the laziest fucking thing.
And for all the masterminding MVP and Bobby Lashley have done over the years, that, like, they can't find a way to fucking stop it. When he warned them of it for nearly 24 fucking hours?
Yeah, the story was there. The story was there, and they shot themselves in the foot because they have no idea what they're doing. All they're wanting is, hey, people legitimately like, a Tory, whatever his last name is, right? Like, he's a genuinely like good person. So we're just going to bank on that. Fuck all the other stuff. Why put forth effort when we can just bank on that people like him?
Is it a weak attempt to boost morale of their locker room right now? Because, like,
but here's the thing.
Everybody left for not getting a chance. So here, you have a chance.
And that was the thing, right? You saw it on Twitter with, Bray Wyatt, who's no longer with the company, saying he's a great guy. Even people in AEW saying how great Big E is. And he is, right? He's a fantastic guy.
Friend of the show. He's done interviews on this show, was the nicest fucking guy to us, sat there for the longest, like, sat there with us for hours and talked to us all day, like fucking had my kids pose with the pictures, like, was cool with us the whole time. Felt like we were fucking friends,
Fantastic person. But here's the thing. If that was to boost morale, I don't give a fuck. I'm not in the locker room. I'm a fucking viewer. I want a story. There's no goddamn story. It's insulting to me. That's why
they have tried to tell me for years that Big E's a really great guy. And I'm like, yes, he is. I know that.
What's the story?
What else do we got?
Yeah. Like, it was so insulting. When I saw that tweet when he's like, let the cat out of the bag, I'm going to cash in tonight. I didn't even watch. I watched Halloween Baking Championship. I fucking was so aggravated that was the story we were going to tell. Not, hey, I've decided that I'm in the same town that Raw is in tonight, so I'm going to cash in because Bobby Lashley needs this ass-whooping New Day style. Boom. Could have easily said that, but nope. You just chose the lowest common denominator. You fucking knuckle-dragging idiots. Like, I hate them. I hate the storylines in WWE. They're all insulting to our intelligence.
Well, they are.
It's like a Republican debate. It's so fucking stupid. It's just the dumbest shit you've ever seen in your life. I hate it so much.
I remember watching, this might have been 2015, maybe it was the Republican debates prior to the one where Trump was nominated for the first time, right? Like before he actually took the presidency. And there was this governor of Louisiana, I forget what he was, and he was like talking smack on the Democrats, and he was like, look, their second highest running in the polls is an admitted socialist. And they're all like, yuck, yuck, laughing. And then I thought, like, man, that guy got to closer to the presidency twice than that fucking Louisiana governor ever fucking will.
But it's just,
those Republican debates are fun. Man, that is some torture fun viewing right there.
It's just, I'm
debates.
American. I love bald eagles. I'll get a bald eagle.
We're going to get this stuff back on track, back to the way we used to be when things were the way they used to be.
Yeah. Fucking Jesus Christ. It's just.
Oh, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that too. Jesus Christ.
God.
Jesus Christ.
But going back to WWE.
Yes, we're here for wrestling. Yeah.
It's seriously insulting. Like.
It is.
And look, we could split hairs all day on every promotion, but Impact, MLW, AEW, and even GCW at least put forth effort to bank on you're going to like this person, and here's the story on why you're going to like them. And that's what I respect. That's not what I respect in WWE.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say.
Listen, I like my presentation clean and like the bright lights, right? This is why I like WWE before, so I like AEW over, like, say, indie wrestling if I have the choice of my viewing at the moment. But the storylines matter more. So I would tenfold rather watch a Nick Gage storyline match crescendo, even with the shitty lights and the bad streaming, over, like, even though I like Big E and I want him to succeed, like, this just isn't, like...
It's nothing with him, right? You could put anyone in that spot.
Yeah. Dude, I want that guy to make $20 million and hold the title 20 times, right? Like, love it.
You could put Chad Gable in the spot, right? Like, it's not against the person, it's the storyline. And even your point about Chad Gable, or excuse me, about Nick Gage. Nick Gage is beloved right now in the IWC. We all adore him, right? He's the darling of hardcore wrestling. But there's still a story, right? He was a heavyweight champion. Yes, there's Big Daddy Cool.
Put Big Sexy up in there.
Yeah, but like Nick
Deep
Gage
in your
had a
ear
story,
holes.
right? Because he was the champion, and then
people love that guy.
Matt Cardona threatened the GCW fan base.
Their way of life.
Ricky Shane Page screws over his rival Nick Gage to then get Matt Cardona become the champion. Nick Gage then gets his revenge on Ricky Shane Page and his faction. Then obviously Jon Moxley becomes the champion, and Nick Gage says, I don't care who has the belt is mine. And Jon Moxley this entire time was like, I am really hardcore wrestling. I need to prove it against you.
He even says, like, I don't give a shit about your belt. Like, this is
just you.
I know you want this. That's why I got it. Right.
And that's a fucking story.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's independent pro wrestling. God damn it. That's one guy. That's probably Brett Lauderdale just sitting in his hotel room each and every city. Just
talking to the two performers and figuring out the art form with the three of them in mind. Like, yeah.
I enjoyed it for the real person who is Big E. I think his name is Tori something. I can't remember his last name.
I think Ewing or something like that. I think it's E. Like, it's a lot of E's.
Tori Ewing, right? I believe. We don't fact check here, right? But, like, I was so happy for that person and his friends. But as a viewer, I literally wanted to break my TV of how insulting it was. So fucking dumb. So fucking dumb.
But thanks for your tweet. Remember, use hashtag tweet the table on Twitter, and we are going to read your tweets right here because you tell us what to talk about. You become the producer of this show. We answer to you. We are the podcast of the people, the voice of the voiceless, right here on the Spanish Announce Table. And I got two tweets talking about the same thing, Tom, here, so a little patience if you don't mind. At Devil Vamp says, yo, at that Kevin Smith, right? You know who that is. Did you see your girl Rosario Dawson on AEW last night jumping on a dude's back and getting in the middle of shit? Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag tweet the table. And at BDD4 says, Malachi, you my man and all, but you leave Rosario alone, damn it. She's a damn treasure. Hashtag tweet the table. Yes, Rosario Dawson. That was fun to see there. I mean, they like to sprinkle in the celebrities, and they do it in a way where it's not just like, hey, look at me, I'm on stage, and then walk out. Like, they're doing something. It's just, it meant Cody, and I feel like Dynamite's better without Cody, if I can be honest.
Well, so here's my question to you, because I did see these tweet the tables. I enjoy the celebrity involvement, right? When Shaq did his match with Jade Cargill against Red Velvet and Cody, thought that was a lot of fun. Mike Tyson coming involved in like the inner circle stuff. The first time around sucked. Second time around, it was fun, right? But it feels like every time outside of that Jericho and Mike Tyson thing, it's always Cody. And so, yeah, what do you think about that? Like, should it be diversified a little bit?
Yeah, they pimp Cody out to the mainstream, right? That's why I was like, oh, TNT titles, the guy they're going to be running around on TNT and like be that fame whore. And like, it just, yeah, the celebrity's always with Cody. And that means like Cody's probably in charge of handling the acquisition of the person or something.
And that's probably great, right? Like he's probably the best one to deal with those kind of transactions and interactions, right? Like who's going to talk to Shaq on behalf of AEW? Probably the best other than Tony Khan. It's probably going to be Cody, right? And that's not to say, you know, obviously we've seen Tony Hawk with Darby Allin, but those were just little quick snippets. I'm talking about like in front of a crowd or in the ring, it's always Cody. That's what I wanted to clarify on. It just feels like, yeah, let's have Hangman, you know, get Chuck Norris. I don't know, some fucking Texas Ranger, right? Like you could do that, or you could have Taz with Rosario Dawson would have been cool, right? Like could have gave both of them street cred. With all that being said, though, Rosario Dawson, I love her. I like that she sold out. She really did it well, right? Like, obviously, she didn't do a 30-minute match, right? But like her spot, she did well. Yeah, that was cool.
Of course.
What did you think about how Malachi Black referred to where he was as the House of Black?
Interesting. I mean,
I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah,
because it almost made it feel like it was a babyface.
Yeah, I mean, I could see how he could take this character as a babyface.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate it. I'm still not on the Malachi Black train much, but we've never been the guys to be like, hey, man, look at this guy with horns and, you know what I mean? Like, we're just not in that, like, sci-fi, supernatural stuff, you know what I mean? I think.
Well, but I don't feel like he flirts with the supernatural. Because you know who would be fucking great with... let's
Abaddon.
do a reset. Well, you do
Okay.
Abaddon.
All right, here we go.
Abaddon, Butcher and the Blade, and fucking Malachi Black is their leader?
Love that.
Who the fuck is messing with that group?
Love that. Well, the Dark Order can, like, get, like, you know, like, they could fuck with them and steal a member once in a while, you know what I mean? Like, just fuck with their heads, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. And
be like, thought you guys were dark. Like, sorry, man, we were just...
Yeah, and after we get done with Tweet the Tables, we got to talk about the Dark Order, because, what is happening?
Yeah, I don't like it. I don't know why they're doing this. I want to sit all of them in a room in real life, not kayfabe, and be like, please don't do this.
Yeah.
Please don't do this, man.
Now.
This is one of the few things I have in life that gives me hope about the world and where we're headed.
Yeah.
You guys can't do this to me.
This is one of the 4 things that gives me a smile.
I will not feel shock and heartbreak like since I have felt when Marty Jannetty got sent through that barbershop window. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I can't take another one of these in my advanced age with this heart. Are you kidding me?
No. Yeah.
Are you kidding me? Don't treat this body well. You're going to send me to the hospital and there's COVID up in there and I can't.
I just got to a point where I can have functional relationships with people who aren't wrestling fans. Don't do this to me.
Please don't do this to him. The anger and outbursts from Tom that I would have to deal with through the messenger conversation
every day.
Yeah.
Every day. Do you
more
want
than
to cry
normal
every day? Yeah. What's next?
Nobody wants that.
What's next?
Well, speaking of making you cry, at Katie First Lady says, did they really have to add the 2.0 to this new NXT? As if we couldn't tell it's new by the colorful set. They just can't help themselves, can they? Hashtag more is more. Hashtag tweet the table. Yeah, this is Pritchard and McMahon and Dunn gone off the rails. And, you know, we discussed how, you know, the triple heart attack there is going to be out of the picture for a while. So I don't.
What did you think? What did you think of 2.0, NXT 2.0?
This 100% feels like. This feels like exactly what I said. Those 3 guys are in a room and they're like, all right, well, we've got like Triple H. I didn't mean to make light of, you know, call him triple heart attack, right? Like, you know what I mean? Very serious things, having a heart situation or whatever they called it. And, you know, they're like, well, they maybe had plans to rebrand, and maybe he was even behind that. But, like, the idea that these folks sat in a room and were like, oh, these colors, and, like, it feels like they're like, well, what did AEW do to beat our ass? And they're like, well, look, they present it different. Look at the colors. And they were like, all right, colors, right? And they were like, smaller set, like, you know, tighter field. And they're like, all right, set. And, like, it just, I don't know, man. Like, it feels like Out of Torch Corporation's trying to rebrand to feel hip and new without knowing what the fuck hip and new actually is. Look, I'm old. I get it. Sometimes I don't know what hip and new is, but I'm not going to go in and try to sell you that I do. With like, we know in pro wrestling because we actually stay watching and do this. Yeah. But man.
Well, it just felt like, it almost felt like like selling out, because NXT was supposed to be the underground developmental territory where you're going to see the stars of tomorrow today, right? Go back to that second iteration, the real second iteration, when you saw the formation of the Wyatt family, when you saw Sami Zayn versus Cesaro, when you saw Adam Rose and all of those people. It was
Adam
like, okay,
Rose.
Yeah, these people, but like these people are going to be the ones that I'm going to see on the main roster in a while. Now it's just, hey, we need to make Marvel characters. So fuck all the plans in the future. Just right now we need to practice Marvel characters. So Von Waggy or whatever the fuck his name is, Dutch or whatever. I don't know their fucking names.
But you know what? The worst problem here is, like, that's fine and all, but like, you really didn't do anything different. Like, if you paint the fucking walls and you move the furniture around, doesn't mean the fucking tense feeling in the home went away, right? Like, you didn't do anything. Like, there's no new structure. There's no new general manager. There's no new, like, way we earn championships here. There's nothing.
Yeah,
like,
because even though you could point at a million things that was fucking wrong with WCW in 2000, at least when they said we're doing a rebrand, they took away everyone's titles and they said this is the new blood and this is the billionaires. That's the story. At least they did a complete reset. What you guys did on 2.0 was, in the first segment, you gave me Kyle O'Reilly, seen him, Tommaso Ciampa, seen him, LA Knight, seen him, and whoever the fucking the fourth guy was. And it's like, I've seen these people. Now, you gave me Rick Steiner's son a little bit later, but we can talk about that because that was fucking dumb.
Yeah, we will talk about that, but that's coming up.
But
also on that show, even how it ended, and there's mixed reviews on this, but at Ash Hendricks in 92 says the wedding segment was excellent. # tweet the table. And I think it was good. I think it was really damn good. I liked it a lot. Tom said it didn't make any sense, and I agree with you. A lot of it didn't make sense, but that's been this storyline for most of it, right? It's the cultish guy taking the girl from the cult that have the mom and dad feel, which shout out to them. They're having, a baby boy. I don't know if you saw that. That was a fun video.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I went into that knowing this was the comedy segment, and they delivered on that. No,
they did. No.
You know what they did? They got me with a feel-good moment of him speaking, and Austin Theory selling that. Like, that was fun.
Austin Theory and Johnny Gargano
Did you bring the rings? He's like, we're in the ring, silly.
Yeah, we're in the ring. So Austin Theory as a dumbass is spot on. It's pretty great. He does an awesome job at that. But here's the thing that just didn't make sense. It's just, okay, so let's just say, again, you're just showing someone this for the first time, right? You got company over.
Yeah.
You said, I'm really excited about the wedding segment. I want to watch it. Would you mind watching it with me? Sure, right? So they do the wedding segment. You get who we're looking at. Indy and Dexter. We get that, right?
Well, they had a huge video package leading up,
which was great, right? Yeah, and that was great, and the whole thing, and they won over Johnny Gargano and all that stuff. That's the thing. But then when you say any objections, and they all say me, and then he shows the fucking machete, and I was like, yeah,
he's got a hatchet up in his head.
A hatchet, yeah. But then at the end, everyone's like, yay! It's like 2 minutes ago, you all did not. So like, That's the consistency. Just
yeah. So it should have been one person, right, or something. Yeah, I agree with you.
yeah, there was
So that's
an
an improvement. That's a hell of an improvement you would have made, and you should hashtag hire Tom. I mean,
yeah.
You know,
I mean,
please.
because who was that fucking one guy, the former Evolve guy that stood up and he said like, "My name is," and then the big black guy like put his arms.
Oh yeah, well that's his
guy.
gimmick. It's
Right.
like, yeah, I forget what his fucking name is. Yeah.
But like that guy could have just been like, I don't approve. Like, right,
Yeah.
Austin Theory and everyone goes nuts, and he's just like, I object. Like, this is fucking bad. Because, like, why? And then I get it, right? It's pro wrestling, and so you just shouldn't really, like, think too much into it. But, like, Kushida's fucking into this. Kushida is really into this. Didn't he just...
Well, everybody loves Indy. I think everybody loves Indy, and they want to be happy
Is
for
that
Indy.
what it is? Okay.
Support
okay,
Indy.
That's what it is. But it just... The consistency of the crowd made no fucking sense. And yes, the I Do was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah.
And then he snuck in the bed and he was like, don't say that. But then like the choking out of the minister and then just have Beth Phoenix do it. Why? That was so
Beth
weird.
Phoenix was so fun.
Just have her do the whole thing because she's the one that got them together. Like the guy made no sense.
I like Beth Phoenix more every time I see her. Like if we can get her sprinkled in
She's
a little bit
fun.
more. Yeah.
But I think, like that guy getting choked out and then having to act like he was unconscious the entire time, that was a distraction.
Yep. Yeah, it was one of those where it was a little overdone. But yeah, Johnny Gargano and Austin Theory's chemistry together is amazing.
Where
and
are
of
we?
course,
Are
and
we
of course
this
this other way.
Other way? Here we
Yeah,
go.
there we go. Oh, wait. Yeah. There we go. Look at, yeah. That's so terrible. That was very white.
I loved it. Hey, if you watched the YouTube channel, you saw what we did.
Yeah, you saw what we did if you watched the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/Spanish Announce Tube. Huh? This is the tube. All right. Kid tells me I gotta be on the tube these days. I don't know. Katie First Lady says, Punk's history of going through or not going through tables has been well documented, unfortunately. Hashtag Ryback. Hashtag dumb as fuck. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag tweet the table. And another one at BDD4 says, this is especially dangerous because both men are wearing dress shoes. Just top flight, A quality commentary from CM Punk tonight. And yeah, CM Punk. Okay, so the tables, notwithstanding.
Yeah, the tables is a thing where apparently, Punk has a hard time going through those tables because either his back doesn't hit flush or Ryback's throwing him on the corner and giving him a fucking, dislocated
How's your father?
disc. Yeah, all the type of shit. Now, as far as CM Punk on commentary, I thought it was good.
Yeah, I thought it was good.
It sounded almost like Phil Brooks more than CM Punk. So,
absolutely, yes.
you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
when Adam Cole came out and CM Punk was like, yeah, I influenced this guy. Like he's in pro wrestling because of me. That didn't feel like I'm CM Punk and I want to face Adam Cole in the future.
It's
felt
interesting.
Like
it's that.
talking.
It's as though CM Punk was like, okay, I'm taking myself completely out of CM Punk role. Mm-hmm. And now I'm other observer, which I don't know that you can necessarily do since they've set the stage otherwise with folks. Yeah, I would stay as CM Punk maybe, and he didn't have to change much. I guess, you could still take everything he said as CM Punk because Phil Brooks has been CM Punk in pro wrestling, I guess. But yeah, I did notice a few of those things, but I think he was very good at like continuing with the story, having fun things to say, knowing how to hit the moment right, not say too much, that kind of stuff. But we've seen that before from CM Punk.
Well, and I also loved at the moment they got him out of commentary, right? So like what he was doing before the moment that he got taken out by Hobbs was he was just calling the Adam Cole Kazarian match, right? He has nothing to do with that. And then he was calling the what was it? The Jade Cargill and legit Layla Hirsch, right? He has nothing to do with that. But then once Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson and like the main event people are there, where you kind of want to say like, what would CM Punk say in this situation, right? Well, he's not there because he got taken out. So the point at which he was taken off commentary, thought was done really well. And then Hook, how fucking cool! Do you
love Hook? Yeah, I love Hook.
The stupid ass hair,
yeah.
The fucking big ass muscles. He looks like a kid that just got arrested for armed robbery.
Yeah, he looks like he literally just broke into your car in the parking lot and came in and is about to slap you with the stuff from your glove compartment.
Yeah, he looks like the clothes he put on were given to him by an officer after he got released from prison.
Yeah.
You know?
He's crashing on your couch and like went through your drawers without asking and just put on your stuff and was like, medium, really? And you know what I mean? It was like, whatever.
But then Hobbs, good night. Doesn't he look like a star? This guy, this is Team Taz. Like, again,
yes.
Brian Cage looked the part. But something with the, like, I'm a robot and I'm the machine stuff, that didn't really fit to me, even though he's the human suplex machine. I'm wearing the Taz shirt.
Yeah.
It just didn't fit.
Brian Cage has never really moved the needle for me, I guess. Not that, like, he seems like a cool guy, but I don't know.
Yeah, but, like, Hobbs, Hook, and Taz, that's Team Taz.
Yeah.
Ricky Starks with this thing and all.
Ricky Starks is a star.
Oh, he is a solo act star. He can cut a promo. He can wrestle a match. Put him in Texas. He's over like Rover. He's the fucking man. But he ain't Team Taz. Hook, Hobbs, Taz. That's a fucking group that I want to have taken over people.
Hobbs is getting better every time I see him, too. He really is figuring it out. And with his size and his swagger, dude, he can, man.
Oh, I mean,
I think he's capturing the hope I used to have for like Titus O'Neil. Remember when we used to see him so huge and just be like with that swagger, and I was like, this guy's he's gonna capture cameras and you know what I mean? Like, but I think Hobbs has that potential.
Well, let's talk about that real quick. So think about this. Hobbs has only been in the company for 1 year. I think it was 1 year today as of this recording. He's been in AEW, right? And the first time in 7 years that CM Punk is going to have a match on television, not pay-per-view, on television, and it's Hobbs, that's pretty incredible.
Yeah, Powerhouse Hobbs. That was a great addition to his Powerhouse Hobbs.
But I still like calling him Hobbs. You know what I mean? Like
Hobbs.
Hook and Hobbs.
Hook and Hobbs.
Right there. Just... And then credit to CM Punk for letting Hook get a dragon sleeper on CM Punk, and then getting the old "How's your father" to the gut. Like
Hook looks like he would walk up to you at the grocery store and slap your wife on the ass and just stare at you while he like grabs the cheese off from in front of you, like waiting for you to do something about it.
Yeah, but he also looks like the dumbass who is in a mafia family and he forgot the money, right? Like, so they're going to a spot to drop off the money and Hook was like, you got the money, right? Like, motherfucker, that was your responsibility. I'm driving. You have the money. Oh, like he seems like that guy. Yeah.
But I thought I was driving. Be like, you're clearly not. I'm fucking driving.
Right, exactly. Like that's Hook. Hook seems like that to me. But I can't wait to. He's got a tire. If you saw the graphic, he's got the little Muay Thai shorts. If you saw,
is he gonna wrestle?
I hope
I'm
so.
ready for fucking Hook.
Who would you put Hook in the ring with? First time out. Let's say it's Dynamite. He skips past
Fuego del Sol.
Ooh.
Yep. Fuego del Sol.
I like that.
Yep.
I like that.
He would like just, you know what I mean? He'd like jump around, whatever, and then just grab him and fucking like twist him and shit.
And hey, Fuego del Sol and Miro, let's take a quick detour there. Fuego del Sol putting his car up to have another shot at Miro. Miro with the line.
Put his car on the line to get his neck broken.
Yeah,
great.
But Miro. So I thought this was probably the.
Can I first say, Sammy, like you should have stopped your friend.
No,
I'm doing this.
They gotta learn. Look, you had.
Hey, if I'm ever like talking to a guy like Miro, and I'm like, you want my fucking car for another fight? Like, stop me.
No, but hey, look, you know what the MJF coin, what I went through. So it's like, sometimes you gotta let your friend just, get too close to the sun.
You just gotta look in their eyes, and you'll know.
Yeah, exactly. But what I was gonna say is this episode was so promo heavy, right? You had Jericho and Lambert and Omega and Bryan Danielson, but the line of the night was Miro. Miro with the, they say you don't touch a stove when it's hot, something like that. But then he's like, but you chose to put your neck on a knife that spared you. It was like, what the?
Yeah, Miro's like almost biblical, like prophecy laden, like vignettes are the best. Here's something, a thing that's distinguishing AEW right now is that their promos are these like vignette style promos. Every WWE promo to promo the match is backstage. You know, one of the people backstage with the microphone captures one of them backstage and like, hey, you got a match coming up with fill in the blank, right? And they go, well, blah, blah, blah. And somebody may interrupt or not. Like, it's the same setting every time. Like, we get something wildly different thematically with each story here in AEW.
Yeah, you get a Miro theatrical vignette, then you get Tony Schiavone backstage, or Tony Schiavone in ring, then you get Alex Marvez backstage, then you'll get a sit down with Jim Ross. Yeah, like you get all of this stuff. They're doing a really good job with that.
Speaking of that and the interviews and the promo styles, at Devil Vamp says, I am really liking AEW Rampage, but damn, this Mark Henry interviews are fucking terrible and take away from the flow of the show. For fuck's sake, hashtag tweet the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Like, what he does, I genuinely like the aspect of interviewing the main event competitors right before the main event.
Oh, I love the format.
And I like that Mark Henry goes, and let's get to the main event. Like, it starts right then, right? Think that is great. But I'm not for scripting promos. However, Mark Henry looks like he's surprised that he has to ask another question.
Yeah.
He does this a lot. He goes, Britt Baker, you're the AEW champion. What do you think about facing Red Velvet? And then, Britt Baker says her thing. And then it's like, I got to come up with another question. And then he's like, hey, so you going to hurt him? It's like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
You don't say that. Like, that's dumb.
Yeah, like, yes. I wouldn't mind if they gave Henry, like, here's your 2 questions of each person.
And say it.
And let them go. And I love that format of, like, it's almost like when you watch a football game, which, go Chiefs. Shout out Justin Chalmers. Anyway, hey, listen, you know what I mean? Cleveland. You could dominate a game for almost 4 quarters and lose it. All right, so you're watching football, and they're like, get ready to start this game. It's like number 1 versus number 3 or something, right? Like, everybody's like, all right. And they, like, stop the coach on the way, and they're like, hey, coach, you're going to, like, the word is they're going to try to kick you in the dick. You going to allow that? Like, that's the feel you get from these where it's, like, right before the match, and I like it. But Mark Henry makes you go, like, have you ever asked a question before?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know how it works?
That's a perfect analogy because, you take the sideline reporter. They know that they're going to come with 3 questions to the coach. Hey, coach, what were the halftime adjustments? What did you think about this play? How is this player doing, right? And they come in there prepared saying, bop, 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 bop. Mark Henry goes like, oh, fuck, we're still on? Oh, okay. Like,
that was an amazing thing you said, Steve. Bill, Steve said... Steve said he was going to punch you in the balls. You
gonna take that?
What do you think about that, man? You think you're going to win the night or what?
That's how he asked it. That's exactly how he asked it.
Yeah.
Oh, God, it's so annoying.
Yeah, it is a little off-putting. I will give you that. All right, here we go. Let's move on to the next. By the way, we are the podcast of the people. See, we're giving a voice to the voiceless. We want you to be heard. You tell us what to talk about, and then we'll clean up afterwards when you guys undoubtedly forget stuff because, we're better than you and you know it, but that's for another, whatever. Since I just insulted you, head on over to SpanishNowStable.net and donate money. Use the PayPal link, and we can't do this without you.
Love you.
We can't do this without you. Like you, at Katie First Lady, she says, so I didn't get to watch much of early Bryan Danielson. And if this version right now in AEW was anything like that, I dig it. Hashtag AEW Dynamite. Hashtag tweet the table. I just want my titties to pop in a white T-shirt like Bryan Danielson, whatever the fuck we're calling him, right? Like, I'll never get that ever again, I feel like.
Why hasn't he changed?
Yeah, why is he wearing the same clothes every time? And AEW, I kid you not, and they shouldn't, but I feel like they could make a bunch of money on selling plain white T-shirts.
So that's the joke. If you see on Twitter, people are going to Target or Walmart and saying, like, they're selling the Daniel Bryan T-shirt. Yeah. This guy is a...
But, like, they could do it. They could sell it on AEW Shop and sell it.
I'd buy one. Yeah, I'd buy
I mean, like, just for the novelty of it, if they moderately priced it, people would do it. They could make...
And you just put, like,
like 7 digits.
Yeah, but like you put like the smallest quarter-sized AEW.
Yeah, just little DB like
right
on the tag, on the inside tag, right? That little
exactly.
like
Yep, right there. Just
that no tag print, right there on the back of the t-shirts,
perfect.
right?
That is perfect.
Just Daniel Bryan's face, like, or Bryan Danielson, right?
Bryan Danielson doing this or this.
Yeah,
he's just doing this. Yeah.
Yes. Watch us on the YouTube. If you're not watching us on the YouTube, man, you don't see what we're doing. But Bryan Danielson, I agree. I also did not see much of early Bryan Danielson. And look, we've got a big match coming up with Kenny Omega. We'll talk about maybe some more of that. But like, this kind of goes back to the storyline thing for me. Like, I know Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson, that's going to be tough to get used to.
Brian. Just say Brian.
Damn it. Brian.
Yeah, Brian. Just say Brian.
Yep.
There you go.
Brian, is that like, yeah, great. Okay, right? I'm going to get a good match, but like,
Well, so I kind of like what they're doing right now. So what they said, if you've been following along, especially with Brian's last promo before he went face-to-face with Kenny Omega, is he said, I came here because I heard about how good Kenny Omega is. I've seen how good Kenny Omega is. I want my first match to be against that guy because he is that good, because I think I'm better. Right? So that's the story. But then what he's throwing in at the very end is, but you know what? There's a lot of good guys here. So if he doesn't want to do it, I'll move on. And now you start to see Kenny Omega like, no, wait a minute, what? No, I'll fight you.
Fuck
like,
the champ.
Yeah, like, no, I am that good. So it's like almost a reverse psychology how he got him into the match by saying like, I want you to be the match, but you know what? There's other people here. I could take on Sammy Guevara. I could take on Ricky Starks, and it's just like, well, okay, fine. Then it's me and you next week. I like that. That's a cool aspect, what they're doing.
You know what else is cool? Chatting with us on YouTube while we do this show live, like Katie First Lady just did, and said, hello, guys. Just checking in with the YouTube. I may not be able to be live each week, but I watch every week. Just giving a shout out. Heart emoji. Peace sign emoji. Of course, feeling the love. Just me, Tom, and Don here, man.
Katie is our first lady.
Katie is our first lady, and Katie, like, I got to tell you, I want to know your thoughts on this CM Punk return. So for the not long-term listeners, right, the new listeners with us, Katie First Lady became Katie First Lady because she was Katie's CM Punk fan on Twitter when she found our show through Rob Schamberger, friend of the show, and was Katie CM Punk fan for years as we knew her. And CM Punk went away, and CM Punk disappeared into the void. And honestly, I was worried about Katie when that happened, I didn't know if Katie was going to make it, like I thought we might have to like kind of be a shoulder for Katie to lean on through the tough times. But the tough times have gone, and CM Punk is back, so we need more. Maybe we need an email from Katie about what she thought about the CM Punk return, because I don't know a bigger CM Punk fan.
I don't either. Yeah, I want to hear her thoughts, because for me, it's a different perspective, because I just liked CM Punk, right? It wasn't, a needle mover necessarily. So I would like to know a needle mover like CM Punk to you, what that meant, him coming back. So yeah, love it. Thanks again for all the tweet tables. We've been reading them. If you're joining now, we've read a couple already. So thanks again for sending that. And then, let's get back into it.
Because we do that because we're the podcast of the people. And, Katie, since CM Punk abandoned being the voice of the voiceless for you, we picked that ball up. And we're doing that for you and for at BDD4. I'm loving that BDD is back on the tweet the tables, by the way. He says, I know Hager is a legit MMA fighter, but literally every single member in the ring from American Top Team can wipe the floor with him. Hashtag tweet the table. And that was my thought, too. I thought even Dan Lambert could probably be. And God damn it. Okay, so let's talk about how Hager would get his ass beat by all these people, even like in, Paige Van Zandt.
But let's take a quick step back. He is a legit amateur wrestler. If you're a D1 wrestler at the University of Oklahoma, you're the top 1% of wrestling in America. That doesn't mean you can fight. And all he's been beaten up is a bunch of fat guys from Kansas City. I know all of them.
Yeah.
I know J.W. Kaiser. I know the fucking...
Damn, I would have taken some money to get beat up by Jake Hager.
Call Joe Wooster. I can get you a fight in 3 weeks if you want it. How much do you weigh?
How bad do you think it'll hurt? Yeah, I'm probably at like 200 right now.
Yeah, you have to gain.
I'd have to bulk up, gain some weight, but I might do that. How much do you think I could get paid to get beat up by Jake Hager? Throw me a ballpark number.
You probably get 10 and 10, 10,000 to show up and then 10,000 to win.
Well, I'm not gonna.
You don't know. You don't know. You see how he acts when he gets hit.
So how bad? I mean, I haven't had my ass beat, I think, since like early middle school, but I haven't had a whole lot of fights either. So like, I mean, I got to take a couple blows to the head and a body blow here or there, and fucking not even that, huh?
No, all you do if you want to make sure that you just get in and out is you touch gloves when the bell rings. You dive for a single leg. He stuffs it. You flatten out. You put your chin in the air. He puts you in a rear naked choke. As soon as the arm gets around the throat, you tap out. You're done. You don't even take a punch. You're fine. You're done. It's so easy. I know plenty of people who've gone that route where they're like, I just need money. I don't care who I'm
10
fighting.
G's, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. But anyhow, so
student loans are a son of a bitch, Tom.
I'm telling you. But
will Hager do a 7-fight series with me?
Maybe. But that ring was filled with badasses. And I'll tell you who the biggest badass was, though. Junior Dos Santos, legend. Andre Arlovsky, legend. Paige Van Zandt is Paige Van Zandt. But Kayla Harrison, I don't know if you know who that is.
Nope. But she looked like she could beat some ass.
So she's a 2-time Olympic gold medalist in judo. To give you perspective of that, everyone got a hard on when Ronda Rousey came over to MMA and she won 1 bronze.
Yeah.
So that should tell you something. Kayla Harrison, I've seen, honest to God, not to like put myself over here, but I've probably seen 10,000 fights in person by now, right?
Oh, yeah.
Her fight at the police academy that happened early this year, like, stays with me. It was so violent that, like, she's a killer. Like, there's a handful of killers, and she's one of them. Like,
now, to zoom back out and then back in on this, I love everything they're doing right now with this American Top Team and Dan Lambert and
the Men of the Year.
And, like, Dan Lambert. So, first of all, CM Punk's line was, Dan Lambert is like if Bobby Heenan had a wardrobe full of affliction gear. Was one of the fucking greatest lines I've heard in years. Yeah. And Dan Lambert is one take money all the fucking time. When and the thing is too that I agree with him, where he's like, and then some fucking 5'8" dork will climb to the highest of the rafters, do a triple spinning thing onto his lifeless opponent, and then that guy will kick out at 2, and all of you dorks will cheer. And I was just like, I fucking want Dan Lambert on the show every week now.
Yeah.
Oh, so good.
I tell you what, he is the embodiment
so good
of the Jim Cornette troll. If Jim Cornette would actually be on AEW, he would be Dan Lambert. But with Dan Lambert, he gives that credibility of like, you're not going to beat me up because Junior Dos Santos is right here. Sometimes Jorge Masvidal is right here. You got Andre Arlovsky. You got the Men of the Year. You know, like
just the disgust on his face and in his voice, like it's shaking. Like his voice isn't normally that shaking, but he's so angry about you fucking dorks. Like I love it. I love it. Oh, it's so good.
And the thing is it's not, I mean, it's cheap heat, but it's not cheap heat. It feels like that's a real opinion.
He's been waiting for somebody to give him the microphone and allow him to say this. He's like, oh, I can say it.
Now let's talk about Chris Jericho coming out. I thought it was pretty interesting how Dan Lambert just didn't go into, AEW guy. He's like, man, I'm really intrigued that it was you who came out. Like, I kind of wasn't talking about you, but okay. I like that aspect where he just didn't go, okay, it's AEW, me and you. Like,
well, and Jericho on the fly doing the fat face dipshit song or whatever that was. Like, that was good. That was good.
By the way, can we talk about that real quick? How many times did they say shit in this episode?
Yeah.
Bryan said it 3 times. Don Callis, I think, said it 2 times. Jericho sang a fucking song like it. And look, I love cussing, right? I think everyone should cuss.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. Censorship is stupid. I really think that.
It's fucking stupid. It's bullshit.
Fucking dumb. Yeah. Like,
sucks dick.
Yeah. I shouldn't be able to not eat a steak because a baby doesn't have teeth. Like, fuck that. I'm an adult. I can fucking handle it. Go fuck yourself. Anyhow.
This is episode 350, deep in your ear holes, folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
Deep in your ear holes.
But like, maybe let's twist up some cuss words. We don't all have to say shit. That's all I'll say. It's like, I get it, right? We can't say fuck, but like, let's just add a little spice, huh? Get a dictionary. We don't always have to say shit. But I loved it. Dan Lambert was great. So here's the thing. I think it's next week we get Inner Circle, I guess, versus Men of the Year. What do you think of that matchup? What do you think about Hager and Jericho taking on Men of the Year? Because I would have tweaked it a little bit.
I just don't. Yeah, like I worry that we get Jericho and Hager must pose here, and that's the wrong way to go.
Well, but I think if you're going to do Jericho must pose with a tag team member, it's got to be the Sex Gods, right? It's got to be Sammy Guevara.
Who is the guy
Jericho.
that they're talking about?
Yeah, like that is
Jericho could say, I thought the same thing, but let me show you who proved me wrong.
Exactly.
The sexy beast. Sammy Guevara, right? Yeah. Even though he's, the sex god, but he's getting married, but
Well, you can still be a sex god. You can pose for
I know you can.
Easy. But what I'm saying is, like, all of what Dan Lambert is saying is the definition of Sammy Guevara. So Sammy Guevara should be with Jericho. And then if you want the MMA muscle, that's where Jake Hager could be on the outside, and he could do the same Wardlow
He's been
thing
training them. He's training them.
Right, but he could do the same Wardlow thing where him and Junior Dos Santos are staring each other down, or him and Dan Lambert are staring each other down. But it's Sammy Guevara who should be fighting this battle with Jericho.
We didn't bring this up since you brought up Wardlow in the MJF thing when Pillman comes out and he's like, meet him at the ramp and all that jazz. And then like he fucking slaps Wardlow and he's like, okay, all right, hey, listen. Like, and then he's like, all right, well, fuck it, let's fucking do this. I love that genuine reaction. It's like, man, fuck you. Hey, sorry. Right. Okay, fuck. All right, here we go. Right. Like, yeah. That was fun and good for Pillman, right? This is getting, like if the varsity whatever things goes away, like I wouldn't hate it. Pillman.
And I like the other guy.
Garrison, of course, the Griff guy.
He's good. Griff Garrison, I think he looks like $1 million, right?
Yeah.
He wins the award for getting off the bus.
Yeah, but he looks 17, so it's like, hey, you know what I mean? Like,
Hey, have him beat up on Fuego del Sol, right? Like, have that be the rivalry.
Or even they could be a tag team.
I agree. What I would applaud AEW on is, going out of All Out, you had a lot of the old guard making big splashes, right? So it was Jericho must pose, then it was Adam Cole, then it was CM Punk, then it was Ruby Soho. But post All Out, it's all been Powerhouse Hobbs, Brian Pillman Jr., you got Max Caster on Rampage. So, like, credit to them for saying, hey, we got you here. We got you hooked with CM Punk, but now let's show you hook. I like that. That's good for what they're doing. I really
love
enjoy
it.
that.
The way they cycle folks in and out in AEW is refreshing, and it keeps it fresh and new. And it's something WWE could have been doing the whole time. They could even be doing now, even though they let go like 30% of their fucking talent roster. They could still be just keeping it fresh and new, but they just don't. They go to the well a lot. A lot.
How many times have I seen the Viking Raiders on Raw, and then how many times have I seen Cedric Alexander?
Yeah.
Right? Like, Jesus Christ. Right there. It's just, anyhow, let's focus on the positives.
All right, we got two things to talk about, which is positive. At AUC Cata says, WWE must not want any connection between Braun Breaker and the Steiners with the name change, and I didn't hear any reference to Rick Steiner or Scott Steiner during that match. And at Ash Hendricks 92 says, Braun Breaker has sirens in his entrance, wears a singlet as gear, gets called the dog-faced gremlin in his match, but WWE don't want to be acknowledged in his family name. Hashtag tweet the table. What a
stupid move.
Yeah, I was trying to think of like just a bewildering move.
Because if you call him Rex Steiner, that is NXT 2.0, right? Like, there's the person where you're saying on this episode is the new beginning. It's going to be led by Rex Steiner.
Even the Steiner name, the name Steiner is a powerful name. It fits a muscled up dude. Steiner.
Yeah. To Ash's point, Ash made just the absolute spot on observation there. Is if you want to, like, because I told you about this off air. When Bray Wyatt became Bray Wyatt, right? we didn't say that's IRS's son. That's IRS's son. Like, it was Bray Wyatt. It was someone completely different. So I am 100% okay with not everything has to break kayfabe.
Michael McGillicuddy.
Yeah, we don't have to do breaking kayfabe.
Hurt his asshole. Same guy.
Right. But if you're gonna, like, if it looks like a duck and walks like a duck, don't fucking tell me it's a horse. Like, you have him look like a Steiner, you had the sirens, you have the singlet, and then you say it's Braun Rexter or whatever the fuck his name is. Like,
Braun Breaker. So here's what, like, okay, so I agree with you on that aspect of, like, we don't have to say he's fucking Steve's kid, right?
Right.
But,
that's totally fine.
But Braun Breaker, 2Ks, by the way, Braun Breaker is the dumbest fucking thing I've ever seen. And, like, if this was nobody new name that I've never heard of, or even if it was like a friend of mine, and they came on, I'd be like, this name fucking blows.
You think if it was the Attitude Era, they would have went with 3Ks? Like KKK?
By the way, Ash, check your tweet next time you did throw an extra K in there. And, whoops. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, and so we ended the show with, I didn't hate it, you know, the heavy breathing stare down, but
that's
like,
so dumb.
Well, I like the idea of he's like, hey, like, thanks, and they shake their hands, and then he's like, thanks, kid, and then like he's like, oh shit, I see what's going on, right? Like, I like that, but they hung on it too long, right?
Oh,
so just ended right when he noticed, like, oh, and then just boom, like, right, end it.
And look, AEW did this too with Kenny Omega and Bryan Danielson. When they agreed to their match, then it became just heavy breathing, staring at each other. That needs to go away. We don't, look, if it's a face-off, like at a weigh-in, which they did with Cody and Jake Hager back a few months ago, that makes sense, right? Hey, let's do a stare down because we need pictures for the fight tomorrow or next week or whatever, right? So we do that. But if it's just, I want to fight you, well, I want to fight you. What the fuck is that? Cut that shit.
Yeah.
That's 1980s Papa Shango dumb shit, or 1990s, I should say. Like, well, the
whole thing is, like, if I'm standing here and like two dudes are fucking getting into it and everything, and they start doing that, and then it becomes heavy breathing for a minute, I'm gonna be like, you guys don't really want to fucking fight.
Yeah.
You want somebody to break up a fight.
Yeah. Who are you trying to impress, right?
You want somebody to break up this fight so you can say, like, I would have kicked his ass.
Yeah. Someone put this on TikTok. I'm going to get in his face, but then you break it up.
I would have kicked his ass.
Yeah.
Even though I've never had any professional fight training whatsoever.
Or I've never been in a fight, but I got hands. I love that. Don't you love how every fucking male on the face of the earth think that they can punch?
I have,
Why?
Yeah, I encounter any time that there's a situation where I'm like, if I'm ever out in public, I'm like, what I know is that, like, I've never been in a fight and I'm likely to lose any fight because of that. But albeit, like, the random idea that, like, whoever I'm fighting might also be in that same scenario. So, like, I know a couple things that, like, maybe give me some space to get the fuck out of there, right? Like,
right.
But I know, like, I'm never going to be the aggressor unless maybe there's something else involved that I don't have my full mind about me, where I'm going to be like, I can kick your ass, because I'm probably like, I don't fucking know if I can kick your ass.
Well, but my thing is the observation of that all guys think that they can box, but, like, you've never heard a guy say, like, I'll double leg you or I'll head kick you. It's
which is the actual effective, right? Yeah.
Well, no, it's just another aspect of fighting. But everyone thinks they can. It's just so annoying. Right?
Well, but like if you're having an actual fight and somebody's like a potential threat to you, if you knew how to double leg a guy down to the ground.
Right.
It's probably way more effective than, like, being able to step back and fucking rock his jaw off. Like, the odds are you're not going to be able to pull that off. But a double leg's probably
it's just
likely.
So silly that all guys think that they can box, but, like, nothing else. No guy is like, I've got strong hips. You know, no one. You never heard that in a fight.
Yeah. Fun fact: I'm looking to kick your kneecap back to the back wall if you start giving me shit.
Yeah, I got oblique kicks.
I'm gonna hope that, like, you're fucking, you know what I mean? My hope is that I break something on the first fucking swing when you're looking at my eyes. Anyway.
But anyhow, going back to
fun fact for you at home, if we ever meet in person.
There you go. But, like, going back to the stare downs, we got to get rid of this. It's so, I understand if it's baby faces, right? To a certain extent, where it was like, hey, I want to be the number one contender. Well, sure. I want to be the number one contender. We'll say what? And then but if it's heels or if it's a heel baby face, fight each other or someone break it up. Like, that's got to go. It's so stupid. Dumb.
All right, what isn't dumb is hashtag tweet the table, because that's where you get to have your voice heard on Twitter. Hashtag tweet the table. Whatever wrestling thought or opinion you have, you share it with us. We're going to read it right here. Like at BDD4 says, great to see FTR in the ring and that it's not over for them. Hashtag tweet the table. Couldn't agree more.
Oh, but can we talk about that segment? After Darby Allin gets the victory over Shawn Spears, Sting goes into the ring because, hey, let's celebrate, right? Sting and Darby must pose. Not even 2 seconds after the match, FTR's in there. And we know what's happening. They go into a big old fist fight. FTR gets the upper hand. They do the spike pile driver on Sting. And then Tully Blanchard gets the fucking rag and wipes off the face paint of Sting. And I was talking to you about this earlier. Name another legend that's that giving. Breaking kayfabe here.
Yeah.
That's giving.
Would the Undertaker let you, like, you know what I mean, bury him right away? You know what I mean? Or cut his hair. Yeah, cut his hair, right. Or like, Rey Mysterio let you rip his mask off?
Right. You're not seeing that. And then even more to his credit, you know, he's even like working with Orange Cassidy and he's doing the slow kicks and all of that stuff. Like, I don't know what's gotten into Sting. And maybe Sting's always been this way because even in WCW, he would win and lose kind of like he was never always winning, right? But man, I am so impressed with the man who is playing
a man called Sting.
Right, but like being that giving to other talent. Now, Tully Blanchard, right? Like it wasn't Marco Stunt who did this, but still, I thought that was pretty incredible that he would let someone rub his face paint off on national TV. Pretty incredible.
Pretty incredible. At AUC Cat, excuse me, forgot what it's like to hear a WWE crowd this loud. Madison Square Garden is on triple fire emoji. Hashtag Smackdown. Hashtag tweet the table. And yeah, that crowd was hyped. And it apparently is the highest grossing crowd at the gate that they've ever had. Now, I don't know if they jacked up ticket prices or whatever, but you follow me. But look, the thing that bothered me was like, I don't want to be one of these people that like gets into this idea of like, you know, WWE fans or AEW fans. And by the way, this term stan that's rolling around, I get its origins and I understand, but like if you call anybody a stan in anything, I no longer take you serious. If I can throw that little sidebar out there, right? If you call somebody a stan in something,
I don't know what it means.
So the Eminem song "Stan," like where they were so in love with the thing that like they were like it's right, which makes sense. Great. But if you're like, it's become like a talking point, and I don't hate it. I hate it now. I'm old manning that, but
I didn't know that.
I'm old manning that. I'm old manning it now because now I'm like, fuck, if you say it, I don't take you seriously. But what I don't want to do is be in that discussion, right? But like, I don't know. I need to hear from the crowd that went. If you were in that crowd, please use hashtag tweet the table and tell me what the fuck you liked about this. Why did you pay your money to go to this? The last time, Tom, SmackDown came here, Kansas City was one of the first things they came to, right?
Raw.
You went to it, right?
Yep.
I didn't fucking go. And I told you I don't want to go. Like, I would have went with you if you were like, I want somebody to go and I don't have anybody to go with. I would have went with you and I would have bought a ticket. But, like, I didn't want to go.
Well, so I went because I thought, because it was one of the first shows, hey, we're going to, throw the book at you and say, here's Brock Lesnar.
I just don't have faith that when they throw the book that they know that, you know what I mean? What a book is anymore.
Now, but let's talk about the show, because that was the first show that I can remember that was good from start to finish. So let's talk about it. Roman Reigns is out there with Paul Heyman and the Bloodline, right?
Yeah. Listen, I love that storyline and it's great. Whoa. And the way they're playing all of that is great. Yeah. How it's focused on Paul.
But Brock Lesnar comes out, and I thought the promo of the week was that where Roman Reigns feels like rejected because Paul Heyman knew that Brock Lesnar was going to be at SummerSlam but didn't tell him, and so he leaves the ring, and then Paul Heyman kind of like then gets himself together and is like, the reigning.
Yeah, like okay, we're going with you, right?
Brock Lesnar. I thought that was
and I love
so
how
good.
Brock is in. He was like, "Hey, before he fires you,
before he fucking kicks your ass,
accept my challenge." And then he's like, "You have 5 seconds, Paul." I love that, right? Where he's like, "Oh, like you're serious about this?" Yeah, great storytelling. But outside of that, the storytelling is lacking in a lot.
But Yes. Oh, yes. But of the two, it's the way better show.
Of course.
I actually really enjoy Roman Reigns right now because honestly, when he came in as the like pseudo heel, it was whatever. Then he joins with Paul Heyman. We're like, oh shit, okay, right? This is crazy. He does the family thing. But let's be honest, after the second Uso joins, it was kind of getting a little stale, right? He beats up Edge. But now look at him. He's got Brock Lesnar breathing down his throat. And then, before I can get to Brock Lesnar at the Saudi Arabia show, I assume, I've got to face now the Demon, Finn Balor.
Here's another fun aspect, too, is that he was like that for all of the manipulating and all of the, like, it's really about him and he's using these folks as pawns, he is looking out for them and loyal to them. So, like, with all the shit that, like, he's like, Paul, I don't know that I necessarily trust you right now. And he got a moment where he's like, oh, shit, it looks like I can't trust Paul. So he fucking leaves. And then he sees, like, oh, Brock was pulling a fast one. He comes right back out to save Paul. He's like, listen, I'm pissed at you, but I'm not going to let you get the fuck beat up. Yeah. By this motherfucker. You are not his. You are mine. Yeah. Right? Like
the guy that like makes fun of someone, and then when you want to make fun of that person, then he goes, no, I make.
He's the alpha male. He's like, listen, we're gonna fight, and I'm gonna beat you every time, and I'm gonna make fun of you, and I'm gonna fuck your wife. But like, did I say that? Sorry, but but like nobody else is gonna do that to you. That's the benefit of me doing it. Is like, it's me. It's me, guy. Right. Hey, it's me, guy.
I'm gonna hit you in the face, but I'm not gonna knock you out.
Right,
pal.
You know that, pal.
Yeah. Exactly.
As long as you do what I fucking told you to do.
Right. I really enjoy his current story. Although I get a little bit nervous that we're going to do we already unveiled Demon Finn Balor, which is whatever, right? I would have saved it for the pay-per-view. But now we're going to do Demon Finn Balor loses his first match back. Like, what the fuck?
I'm surprised he didn't get let go with everybody else.
No,
it's a marketing thing is the deal. They can market, but that's what they're looking for. A lot of the other people will star. So were Adam Cole and Bryan Danielson and fucking.
Well, those two left.
Yeah, well, true, but you know what I mean. Like, it's so Bray Wyatt, but like it's this idea that they're looking for characters that they can put on posters and sell toys and make a Saturday morning cartoon for and fucking make a fucking animated movie and fucking get in Universal Studios theme rides and shit like that. And the Demon Finn Balor fits all of that, of course.
I just think you got to have them win though. But they don't get that. All they get is, hey, everyone liked
But do you? But do you? Because SmackDown had its highest grossing fucking thing and we think it sucked. So like, what do we fucking know? Apparently we don't know shit.
Yeah, we don't. Not about their product, at least.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
True that. Well, then let's move on. So that was Katie. Love Katie. At BDD4 says, I get the O factor of Christian making that Wednesday quip, but I think it's better to just be better and keep it moving. Number one should never concern themselves with number two. # tweet the table. Ooh, I like it, but he's saying AEW's number one, so you shouldn't concern yourself with number two. Second week in a row, they got the 18-49 demo. They won. Second week in a row over Raw. Yeah.
Look, I like it. Now, what I don't like is everything about my character is that I'm not at the other company.
Yeah.
That's too much.
So I like his line about how he's like, how they plucked you out of developmental, like the EVPs plucked you out of developmental and brought you here. Like, that's a good line. I'll give him that. That was good.
Look, I mean, it's true.
That's exactly what they did, right? Yeah.
When Adam Cole was on that NXT takeover, that was in front of 150 people.
And word is, we don't know.
He performed in front of 15,000.
We don't know the real, and if this is dirt sheets, but word is that like he was gonna be a fucking like Leo Rush style manager for somebody else, and they were discussing that like possibly not having him be Adam Cole because of Michael Cole. He had no choice but to leave. He had no choice but to leave. But like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing is like,
yeah, but that's who you have to worry about is Michael Cole.
Right.
We have to fuck the talent. We got to worry about our announcer. We can't just call him Michael.
Yeah, people might. Yeah. So I like Christian's lines there and all that kind of shit. But
I thought it was really good. And then like you're used to getting your ass beat on Wednesday night, so now let's make it Friday night.
Yeah, loved it.
Loved it.
Yep, right.
Because again, it's not the Christian character, right? The whole Christian character is I'm not in WWE. It's more than that. So if you want to take a little shot at the other people, fucking do it. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked it. All right, this is the final Tweet the Table we have, so I'm going to give this reminder again. Use hashtag Tweet the Table on Twitter. We're going to read them right here, and we're the voice of the voiceless. We give you the stage. This is how we start the show. We don't talk about anything else other than maybe our MJF coin updates. Before we talk about what you want to talk about, because we want you to love us, please do that. Please love us. Like at AUC Cattle loves us. He says, has AEW ever done a contract signing segment? Legit curious. Hashtag Smackdown. Hashtag Tweet the Table. And Tom, I think you've found it.
Yeah, so I think it was when Jon Moxley was champion and MJF made him sign the contract.
Yeah.
And then after MJF signed the contract, then he realized, oh shit, I signed a contract where my attorney the next week, which is Mark Sterling, has to wrestle
Mark
Jon
Sterling.
Moxley. Right, and then Jon Moxley beats his ass the next week. I think that's the only contract signing. Now, they've also done like weigh-ins and press conferences, like with Cody and Jake Hager. They did a little something. But I think the only contract signing was that one. But I'm not fact-checking, but I think that's the one.
Yeah. Good stuff.
But it's great, right? Like, they're not what you were saying, even with the backstage promos, right? With WWE, it's guy walks up or girl walks up to talent and says, "You gonna fight?" Right? And then how we have to have a match, it's a contract signing. AEW is doing weigh-ins and press conferences and
Dinner debonaires.
Like all these other things to get to the match. But like even to make the match official, right? Cody comes out, Anthony Ogogo comes out. Then you got, even when it was Jon Moxley and Christian in Kansas City, they came out for the weigh-ins. Like, they do different things. The press conference with Jon Moxley and who did he face it all out? The New Japan Pro Wrestling guy. God dang it! What the guy that loves bread?
Shit.
He loves.
I don't
bread.
know the New Japan enough. Well, what's his fucking name? I forgot altogether. We did picks and everything, and I forgot his name.
I can't think of
that guy.
But that guy. But
Dana
they
Brooke.
did the press yeah, Dana. But like they did that press conference, which was great, by the way. When Jon Moxley's like, "You think you can beat me?" Yes. In pro wrestling.
Yeah.
In 2021. Yes. I love it. Oh God, it was so great. Yeah. Anyway.
What else is so great is all of our fans and all of the Spanish announce Tableians or whatever the fuck you want to call yourselves. The Table Nation. That's what it was. The Table Nation out there using hashtag Tweet the Table.
Kojima.
That's
his fucking name.
Right.
Yep. Kojima.
Yeah. So we gave you the stage. Now it's our turn. We're gonna do the quick hits, all the stuff that you guys forgot about, because you will forget about some things.
Hey, so let's talk about some quick drive-bys, and then we also got another fun story to talk about for next week. One quick drive-by that I wanted your opinion on: the Andrade Pac fallout. Right. So Andrade on AEW Dynamite, it was like, hey, I didn't give the fucking order that Chavo should be doing that. I can beat Pac. I can beat Pac. What the fuck? Does no one think I can beat Pac? Like, I can beat Pac. What'd you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, fine. I guess, like, if we're not going to have Chavo around forever, this is an easy way to get rid of him, right? But it just feels like start and stop. It feels like we threw Chavo a bone here.
Well, but I like the reasoning, right? It's Andrade
don't
is
fucking
a heel, right?
Yeah, don't fucking like assume I can't beat this motherfucker.
Right. It's the like, wait a minute, does my team not think I can do this? I can fucking do this. Like, I don't need
Chavo fucking Guerrero to help me beat. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
it's like if a coworker helps you on a project and you're like, you didn't.
So
think I
that's
could do
the
that?
promo. Is like he's like, in the annals of fucking time, right? When we're looking in the history books of wrestling, when they start going down the list of the greatest wrestlers of all time, they will reach Andrade well before they reach fucking Chavo Guerrero. So I do not need your damn help in winning a match. You know what I mean? Like fucking pointing on him, like, right?
It. So then the other thing I want to get your feedback on. Now, they did a great job using Dark, because we have talked about, Dark needs some storytelling, right? And now Dark has went to Universal Studios, and they had their first show there center around Jade Cargill and legit Layla Hirsch, right?
Yeah.
It was those two don't like each other. They're going to handle their business at Dynamite, but then, on Dark, they're going to kind of butt heads here. Now, Jade Cargill gets the win. It was her toughest match to date,
Yeah.
What do you do with
most
Jade Cargill?
technically sound match we've had out of her? Like, I thought this was good, and I think this is a good way to break that in. Right now, it's not unbelievable to see anybody. Right, if Layla Hirsch at her size can go in there and give her a match where she's in danger of losing, now it's not unbelievable for anybody else to go in there. I mean, not to put Layla Hirsch, but from an optics standpoint, now you can put anybody in that ring and it can make it believable that, like, like pro wrestling's always that. Like, hey, 619 gives me a puncher's chance on anybody, right? Like that kind of stuff. So I like that move, and it also makes legit Layla Hirsch show her legitness. Yeah. You know what I mean? Look at that, legitness. I mean, making up words here. I'm 350 episodes deep in your ear holes.
What do you do with Jade Cargill then? Like, where are you putting her? You can't do Britt Baker because she's
not yet, but I do more of that. Like, she's got to like. I think I would do the like. I just proved it. I put out legit Layla Hirsch. So who else are your legit people? And find the like tough folks in the women's division, right? Like, she's going after Sheeta, right? She's going after.
That's
you know what I mean? Like Thunder Rosa after that. Like, she's gonna go beat the tough chicks, right? The ones who like or Nyla Rose, right? Like, she's gonna go. I mean, we already did that, but you know what I mean? Like, didn't we do that? Jade Cargill and Nyla? No, we didn't do that. No, we've hinted at their. Right. But that's it. She's like, I'm tired of, like, you know what I mean, putting down little girls. Like, I'm going to show you, like, you know what I mean? Like, not only can I beat somebody that's legit, I can beat every legit person you got here because I'm the most legit, right? I can just go after them.
I think Sheeta is where you go because Sheeta needs to be back on TV. She can obviously put on great matches because when she was champ, that was her strong point.
You were the longest running champ. I can show I'm better than you.
And then you got Mark Sterling, smart Mark Sterling, and Jade Cargill cutting the promos to carry the feud week to week.
Smart Mark Sterling. Love that guy.
I think that is right there, the promo. Now,
shout out Mark Sterling. We should get him on the show and interview him. Like, oh, fuck.
What?
Cutie. We forgot Cutie Marshall's on the line, and we forgot to interview him. He's off now. He dropped. He was sitting there for an hour and a half. I'm sorry. Cutie Marshall. Always trying to be on the show, and we keep forgetting he's our biggest fan, and we forget.
But that's what I want to talk about next. Is not Cutie, which again we'll get to you next week, but Sons of a Gun. The Gun Club comes out and they kind of call out the bullshit of the rankings. Because they're like, you know who's undefeated as a tag team?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Wins and losses matter. Where they're like, name it. Singles matches? Oh, guess what? Undefeated, right? Like tag team matches? Guess what? Undefeated, right? And I like this because it's not like, hey, remember me? I was a guy and here's my kids. Like, this is just like, oh, hey, we're here and you guys say wins and losses matter and we've got wins and no losses. So maybe it's the losses that matter? Is that what you're saying, right? Like, like, 'cause that's all we've been doing is handing out L's. What the fuck?
And again, that's more young talent. Now, look, I don't like the Gun Club.
I don't either.
I'm sorry. That one
MLW.
The tall one, the tall one is just not appealing to looking at. The small one is just Eminem wannabe, and then Billy Gunn looks better than both of them, but he's 62, so I don't really want to see him in there.
He looks like a half a steroid walking around.
Yeah, I just can't.
Half a steroid. You like that? Yeah. That's the shit you get on episode 350 of the Spanish Announce Table. God damn it. Deep in your ear holes.
I just want to like it. You know how like security will politely kick someone out?
If we could politely ask the Gun Club.
Hey, we need you to leave. Now, I want to get your opinion on the main event. It was Jon Moxley, Eddie Kingston versus 2.0. Don't really want your opinion on the match. Post-match, though, we get the Suzuki incident finally resolved because Suzuki finally gets all of his song played.
Yeah.
But now it looks like it's going to be Suzuki and Lance Archer versus Moxley and Eddie Kingston.
I like this too. It just and again that like I'm not expecting like I like this when it's time to stall somebody from a storyline perspective because like we're not going to have anything meaningful to do with them, but we can't like when we do something with them it has to be meaningful, a la Moxley, right? Mm-hmm. Then you do these things where this is a good stall. It's a mini story that isn't like a long-term thing that we're going to follow, but yet like it's a mini story that's also about to be brutal, right? Like, and it's good. We're going to, Suzuki's going to go home, you know what I mean? And then like, he'll be able to continue on with something different. It won't mean much moving forward, win or lose. Right. So I like this idea. Lance Archer. So when we've talked about like, oh man, they've got the Adam Cole Bay, they've got the fucking FTRs, they've got the guns, or they've got the CM Punks, they've got the Bryan Danielsons, they're getting all these people. Who's going to get pushed out? The Lance Archers of the world are the guys who are starting to look like, oh man, what are we going to do with this guy?
See, but again, if you only pay attention to Dynamite, I think this is an interesting story if they have time to tell it, because the last time that I saw Lance Archer, he beat Jon Moxley for the New Japan US title, right? So like, he's obviously already beat Eddie Kingston. We saw that back during the...
And now he's here to help Suzuki, and
so it's like...
Who we know is supposed to be the toughest motherfucker around.
Right, so Moxley and Kingston are fucked. Like, I want that
Everybody
story to be
dies.
told but I want to see, like, the Moxley and Eddie Kingston maybe butt heads and be like, all right, Kingston, you need to fucking step it up here because you don't do well against Lance Archer. And then then Kingston can be like, wait a minute, what? You lost to Lance Archer in your last match against him. Like, fuck you. And now we get some butting of the heads. Because these two guys, as great as they are, and I love their entrance. I love Eddie Kingston, Jon Moxley, Wild Thing entrance. I think it's one of my top 5 favorite things in AEW. But they're hotheads, right? They're hotheads. So eventually hotheads have to bump into each other. I know they're friends. But I want to see
back.
that.
It'll come back. That's what happens.
I know. This is when it needs to come back. When two guys who have beat their asses. Now, Moxley got the win over Suzuki, but again, Suzuki is this like mythical figure where he could beat anyone kind of thing.
Yeah.
I want to see that. Let's bump some heads.
Well, you know what I don't want to see is whatever the fuck the Dark Order is doing to themselves.
I hate it.
Somebody needs to get... Where is Dr. Stewart?
Where?
Right? Is that his name? The guy, the Team Hell No guy?
Yeah. I don't know. We need him. Who can help? Britt Baker, she's a doctor. Can she help? Like, we need we need professional help. Evil Uno, what are you doing?
Yeah, why are you trying to... Dude, this is not your group. It's Negative One's group.
Yeah. Is he the one that has to come back to fucking put people in order? Because Anna Jay is just yelling at people, and that ain't helping anyone.
Dude, if they have Negative One come back and whip these guys into shape, dude, I'm going to like that. If he's like, listen, I'm over here taking care of my goddamn homework. I got football practice, and I've got to come over here and keep you two in line. Like, you think you're a leader? Like, did my dad appoint you in the lead? Like, come on, man. Like, everybody loves you, but like, come on, man. Right? Like, come on. Like, you're great because of this, and this, but we don't need you for this, and this. Like, you're great for this. You're like, everybody, come on, hug it out. Right? Big old Dark Order hug.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how you
Please?
use the word. But that's how you use the word shit, right? Is Negative One is like, I have been doing all of my homework. I have now in soccer practice, and I have soccer games on Saturday morning, and I come to AEW and I see this shit.
You know what he should say is like, you know what? And all through all of that, I haven't lost any of my friends.
Right, exactly.
Alex, right? Like, you know, Johnny, right? Like, you just, God, it's so great. And have the, like, Brody Lee's wife in the back, like, just like, you know what I mean? Like, just shaking her head, like, come on, guys, get together. I had to bring him all the way down here. We've got to make dinner now. We got to get back. Like, he's been upset all night. Like, he didn't get any sleep.
We're going to be late. We're not going to get back in time for his bedtime. And so you guys need to get this in order. And I need Sue, and then Sue can come with the band.
I love how he could be like, listen, like, I know what'll motivate you guys. I know what, like, I know what brings you guys together. And so I made a call, and I brought him. And the fucking Hangman comes in.
Well, come on now. Come on. But here's the thing with the Dark Order.
I went too far. I went too far.
That's just
I went too far.
That's wishful thinking. I just think because if you pay attention, it keeps being this weird thing where there's two factions, right? It's Colt Cabana, I believe 10 and Evil Uno, and then it's Alex, Silver, 5, and those, right? I think that's how it's broken up.
Something like that.
And then Anna is like in the middle, right? Anna Jay's in the middle. What's her angle? Tell me what you think.
She's going to sell one side out, and I don't like this.
Again, but you know who also was there this week? That was kind of giving a side eye to Johnny Hungy? Tay Conti. I still think Tay Conti is going to be doing something here. I think she's going to be the one playing people without Anna Jay's knowledge, and then that's where the feud comes. And then Anna Jay brings the Dark Order together. Tay Conti's up to something, Tim. You can't be that happy all the fucking time. You're up to something. There's hungry kids in Africa. What the fuck are you smiling about all the goddamn time? Huh? Okay? You're up to something.
Yeah, something up with you. All right, well, hey, this was fun. Unless you got something else to talk about, man. I feel like this has been a super fun episode.
Well, hold on. Yeah,
All
we
right.
got to talk about what the fuck is happening coming up.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, next week's show. So, again, I won't be in. I'm going to try to figure out a way to maybe contribute. Maybe you're going to do it solo. Maybe you're going to have a contributor sit in or whatever. But this stadium show, we're getting 2 hours of Rampage. We're getting Omega and Bryan Danielson on free television. We're getting Sting and Darby Allin versus FTR, which is crazy. That's not even the most anticipated match. You got this week on Friday, you got the Lucha Bros versus Butcher and the Blade. You got Britt Baker versus Ruby Soho next week. What in the there? This is all of it.
Yeah, AEW is great about this. We talked about this offline that every show, I've seen a guy, maybe it's Snowden, who says, how is every episode of AEW Dynamite the best episode of AEW Dynamite?
WrestleJoy.
And I don't know that I necessarily agree with that, but every show feels like a big time event.
And this one feels like a pay-per-view.
Yep.
Here's where, look, I love AEW, right? Love it. But remember, we like to have revisionist history where everyone shits on that whole idea that Goldberg versus Hulk Hogan was on Monday Night Raw. Well, fast forward to 2021, and we're doing Bryan Danielson versus Kenny Omega. Just fucking right here in a tennis court. Why not? That's going to be crazy to see, too.
Yeah.
They're doing it at the U.S. Open.
Yeah.
What if there's rain?
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing? Oh, I love it. I love pro
wrestling. I love it.
Except for WWE.
And I love you, the fans. So go follow us on Twitter. Use hashtag tweet the table. We're going to read them on the show. We are the voice of the voiceless, the podcast of the people. This was
so much fun.
This was a fun episode.
I love talking to the fans.
Yeah, I love talking to the fans. So talk back to us. Use hashtag tweet the table and let us know how you enjoyed us being 350 episodes deep in your ear holes.
The Spanish announce table.